Howdy folks, welcome to today's presentation. I'm the Cowboy Historian, and we're going to take a look at one of the most iconic symbols of the American West, the Colt. More than just a firearm, the Colt shaped legends, defined culture, and became a lasting image of frontier life. Let's saddle up and dive into its portrayal in the West. What was the Colt? The Colt is a firearm that was made in the early 1800s by a man named Samuel Colt. His firearm was the first to have a revolving cylinder so that the wielder can fire multiple shots. By 1856, the company could produce 150 weapons per day. Colt was also an effective promoter, and by the start of the U.S. Civil War, he had made the Colt revolver perhaps the world's best-known firearm. How was the Colt portrayed in the West? The Colt was portrayed in the West as the central firearm of the day. Anyone who wanted to go out west in plain land had a Colt by their side. It was so popular that even the U.S. Army requested these pistols for their officers to use. The Model 1873 revolver, commonly known as the Colt Single Action Peacemaker or Frontier, was actually developed in 1872, based on the patents granted to Charles B. Richard and W. Mason in 1873. The Army adopted this revolver along with its black powder center fire cartridge of .45 caliber and issued it to troops in two models. Who used this type of weapon? Every gunslinger in the West, from Wild Bill to Annie Oakley, used these weapons to perform their deeds. Even the Texas Rangers themselves must thank their fame to the good old Colt six-shooter. Ranger John Coffee Hayes used a pair of Patterson Colts to successfully hold off an overwhelming party of Comanches in 1841, during what became known as Hayes' Big Fight at Enchanted Rock. The Pattersons went on to see service in Florida's Second Seminolan War, the Mexican War, and during the California Gold Rush. The .36 caliber Patterson, with barrels up to 12 inches long, earned the name Texas Patterson because of its history. Major conflicts the Colt was used in. The Colt was used in many different conflicts around the western frontier and the world, changing the very essence and outcome of most American battles. Colt received a boost in sales during the Texas Revolution and the Mexican-American War. His weapons contributed to the U.S. Army's success and to the resulting westward expansion of the American territory. Without this weapon, many of these conflicts would have been lost due to inadequate firepower. How citizens of the day viewed the Colt. Citizens of the day praised the Colt for its accuracy and rate of fire, deeming it a lifesaver when it came to surviving the frontier. Rusk testified, "Colt's repeating arms are the most efficient weapons in the world, and the only weapon which has enabled the frontiersman to defeat the mounted Indian in his own peculiar mode of warfare." The politicians, generals, and citizens deemed that this weapon was the only weapon that could keep the Indian in check. Was the portrayal of the Colt accurate? The portrayal of the Colt was accurate to a point. The Colt six-shooter was a revolutionary idea that helped deal death and destruction. Many military leaders requested these weapons due to how well they were able to fire off shots at a fast rate. They did have problems, for instance, when it came to making a metallic cartridge. The Thierer conversion was made by milling off the rear of the receiver and replacing it with a breech plate containing 6 internal firing pins. The cartridges were loaded through the mouths of the chambers. Colt made 5,000 of these, but they were not well accepted. Colt found the mechanism so complex it included a spare percussion cylinder with each revolver. Now, with this being said, the Colt still lived up to the hype that surrounded it. This gun not only changed the outcome of many battles, but was requested by every general. Its rate of fire and reloading capabilities made it the most sought-after gun in America at that time. So to this historian, the Colt lives up to its legendary status that the people of the time held it to. Thanks for riding along with me on this journey through the Colt's place in Western history. From fact to folklore, it remains a powerful symbol of the frontier spirit. I'm the Cowboy Historian, and I appreciate you taking the time to explore this story with me. Until next time, keep your boots dusty and your history alive.